Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting episode on the TV Just Kinda. So today we will be starting something very interesting and inspiring. It's called the Bible View. So many people have this opinion, which is really correct, that the Bible has answers to every question, right? Every single thing. So today we're gonna see what is the Bible's view on friendships. I mean, do I need to have a friend? Why do I need to have a friend? What are the consequences of bad friendship? How do I find a good friend? Is it necessary? Those kind of stuff. So we're going to find out from the Bible today what it is its view on friendships. Stick with me. Okay, so we will be looking at a very detailed example of friendships starting from the Old Testament. The story between David and Jonathan. Jonathan was the heir to the throne of Israel biologically, though God had already anointed David to be the king of Israel. But Jonathan was the son of the first king of Israel, who was King Saul. Now it happened that David had just defeated Goliath. So that's another story for another day. He defeated a 9-foot giant by using a stone and a sling. And then he used the giant's sword to cut off his head. Because that giant had been a real terror to the Israelites, right? So he had done this, and when Jonathan heard that he was just a Benjamite, the Bible says his soul was knit to that of David. He loved David, such that he took off his royal robes and put them on David. One thing to note here is that Jonathan saw a good thing that he did, and he liked him because of that good thing. How is this important to friendship? We'll read on and see. So you find this account of David and Jonathan from 1 Samuel chapter 18 down to chapter 20. I'm just going to tell you the story and highlight the scriptures in this video so you can also make your research, and also in the description as well. So, but because King Saul earlier on had done very badly, he had disobeyed God, God had already anointed David to be king of Israel. So the spirit of the Lord had departed from Saul and was now on David. So now an evil spirit was on David, was on King Saul. So every opportunity that King Saul had to be with David, he wanted to kill him. I mean, he would always haul a spear at him to pin him to the wall. How bad? Anyways, David got tired of running around. At a point, Saul even wanted to use his wife because David made bets with King Saul. He said, if I kill 100 Philistines and bring their outfits to you, I would have your daughter for a wife. And so he did that, and he got King Saul's daughter Michal for a wife. And King Saul actually even tried to use Michal to kill David, but she helped him. So this time David was fed up. He felt, Jonathan, your father is the king and you're my friend. I mean, why should he want to kill me and you would do nothing? At this time, Jonathan was not aware. Jonathan didn't really know that his father wanted David dead. So Jonathan said, how would my father want to do such thing? And I would not, and I won't be aware. He said, okay. Then David told him, the new moon festival is coming up, and he has a seat on the table to sit with the king because he had become the commander-in-chief of King Saul's army due to the fact that he was smart, bold, brave, and he was really skillful warrior. So he said, during the new moon festival, my seat is going to be empty, and I'm going to hide in a secret place. If after the first, second, third day, King Saul misses him and says, where is David? And Jonathan says, he took permission to go to his hometown to make some sacrifices. And if Saul says, oh, it's fine, then that means there's no trouble. But if Saul becomes angry, then it means he means evil. So Jonathan said, fine. But because Jonathan really loved David, he also made another vow with David. So he told David, he said, you stay in the fields after this has happened. He said, you stay in the field. Okay, before I get back to that, let's talk about what happened at the New Moon Festival. So the day of the festival came, the week for the festival came. The first day passed, David's seat was empty. Second day passed, his seat was empty. Third day, his seat was empty, and then Saul became very worried. By the third day, he asked, where's David? And Jonathan said he actually went to his hometown to make some sacrifices. He took permission from me, and Saul was so angry he wanted to kill his son. At this time, Jonathan knew there was trouble. So prior to this, Jonathan already made another vow with David that he should go out to the fields and hide, okay? And by the third day, he would shoot an arrow. And if he hears him, Jonathan, tell the lad, the young boy, his servant, go, look, just look by the other side, you will find the arrow there. That means he's safe. But if he tells the little boy to go further, keep going, the arrow is still beyond you, that means he should run, but King Saul actually wants him dead. And truly, when Jonathan shot the arrow the third time, he told the young boy to run. The arrow is ahead of you, because Saul wanted David dead. But you see, their friendship was a really, really remarkable one. Because when David became king and there was a battle, there was a battle between the family Israel and the Philistine, and the Israelites lost, Jonathan was killed in the battle. When David became king, he actually remembered his friend Jonathan, and he took care of his son Mephibosheth, who became lame at birth because the nurse was trying to run away with him in the battle. So what I'm trying to say, what we actually get from this story in terms of the Bible view is Jonathan liked David because he did something good. And he admired that attributes and that character in him, and he decided that David was going to be his friend. Okay, so the next story on our list is that of King Rehoboam. It's funny how Rehoboam is actually the grandson of David, and they're having this kind of examples. So Rehoboam was the son of Solomon, son of David. Solomon had ascended the throne after David. And Bible lets us know that Solomon was a very wise king. He was the wisest at his time. And he made a sacrifice to God, 1,000 burnt offerings, and God asked him, what did you want? And he said he wanted wisdom, because his father had taught him that wisdom was the principal thing, so therefore get wisdom. So he was wise, and so therefore he had people that ruled with him, elders, board of directors, as the wise king that helped to kind of join him to analyze his opinions and suggestions and decisions. Okay, so Rehoboam was meant to be king after his father, but God had already prophesied that a certain Jeroboam was going to be king. So the people of Israel wanted to decide. So Rehoboam said, give me 3 days and I'll come back to you with an answer. So Rehoboam went to his friends, the guys he grew up with, his homies, Jews. He went to meet them. And listen to what they told him. Anyways, he also decided to discuss and talk to the elders and the people, this board of directors that worked with his father, who happened to be the wisest in that time. And here's what they said. Okay, so you watching me today, I want you to analyze, if you were in Rehoboam's position, whose side would you be on? Do you believe that Rehoboam actually took the decision of his friends? What this lets you know is the kind of people you have around you have a very great influence on your life. There's an adage that says, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. Very explicit and exemplary in the life of King Rehoboam. His friends said, tell them that my father treated you with iron, I will treat you with scorpion. But the elders gave him a wiser option, and he refuted that. So Rehoboam actually became king of only the house of Judah, and Jeroboam was king of all of Israel because God had already destined it to be. But that particular scenario lets us understand that his friends had the greater influence on him, and they were bad company. They were really, really bad company. So when you're picking your friends, you need to understand that they're going to influence you. Anyhow they are, anyhow they behave, is how you are definitely going to turn out. So when you want someone to be your friend, consider, is this how I want to be? The third example of the Bible view of friendships is Job. Now Job was an upright man and a perfect man, and God liked to brag with Job. So the devil had come to present, the Bible puts his name as Satan. So Satan had come to present himself before God, and God asked him, where have you been? And he was like, roaming about the earth, having nothing to do. And then God said, have you seen my servant Job? You know how God likes to brag with his children. He said, have you seen my servant Job? He said, there is nobody as upright and perfect as my servant Job. And God was like, dear Lord, what do you mean? Just give me a few days and I'm going to show him what's up. And God said, hey, listen, not with this one. This one is special. He is preserved. He is not like the others. But the devil decided to, put God on trial. But the devil struck David, actually, that's the bottom line of everything. And in those days, Job was the wisest man in the eastern part of the world where he lived. He had a lot of cattle, and they measured their wealth by the number of cattle and cows and rams and goats they had. So he had wives, he had children, pretty, beautiful, handsome sons. He had servants, he had houses, he had farmland. The devil took everything from him. So he kept getting bad news one after the other, until he finally, the devil afflicted him with boils. Job had 3 friends. The Bible considered them as wise men: Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. And they persuaded Job to curse God. They blamed Job. They told Job that God was responsible for all the things he was going through and that he wasn't meant to serve God, including his wife. These people were his friends. And God was seriously, highly disappointed in these guys because he expected that they were going to, help Job or maybe comfort him. But they were saying all manner of hurtful and spiteful words. But Job did not deter. This is another indication of picking good friends. But what this particular story, this particular one lets us know is God has to be before your friends. What do I mean by God has to be before your friends? When you want to make a decision in life, listen to God first before you consider listening to your friends. God can actually speak to you through your friends, but listen to him first. Trust him first. Believe in him first before you consider whatever your friends are going to say. If anything your friends are telling you is not inconsistent with what God would say, then don't listen to your friends. Because they could have been corrupted just like they were. And God was actually disappointed that these people would actually behave like they did. And then God told them to make a sacrifice to Job and to let Job pray for them. And after that, God restored to Job all the things that he lost, and he became wealthy and rich and once again. And in the New Testament, there's something Jesus says about friendship. In John 15:33, Jesus says, "Greater love had no man than these, that a man will lay down his life for his friend." That lets you know that a friend is one who can make sacrifices. One who can sacrifice his for yours. Just like the relationship between David and Jonathan. And what I noticed in the New Testament was that the apostles and prophets, Paul, Peter, James, that wrote letters to the people, churches where they preached, they refer to them as friends. So in Christ, we are friends. You can join Christ today. Yeah, you can join us and join this family of friendship, family of friends. So the Bible lets us know that a friend is one who can make sacrifices, one who is also a Christian like you, because the apostles refer to the churches and the Christians in these churches as friends. Now, in view of everything I have said today, you might be wondering, who is the best friend? How can I find the best friend? I mean, the Bible clearly states the characteristics of a friend from the stories. You see that in a minute. So, Jesus is the best friend. I mean, he's the one who said, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man would lay down his life for his friend." And he did, because he loves you. That was why he gave his life. He died on the cross. He took all the pain, all the scourging, the spits and everything. He did that for you. And all you have to do is just accept that he did it for you. And that's it. He becomes your friend. And he's the best. Like, he's the best of the best of the best of all the friends you could ever have. I'm telling you the truth. I can tell you who to marry. I can tell you who to date. I'm going to do a video on that. He can tell you, he can tell you what to wear, food to eat, when to eat, when not to eat, the amount of water to drink. Jesus is the best. Like, he's the friend that sticks closer than a brother. He's the best. And if you want to meet him today, I'd love to give you an opportunity. I'm more than glad to. You just have to say these simple words with me, and Jesus becomes your friend, like your friend. Hey, say these words and mean them with all of your heart. Congratulations, Jesus Christ has become your friend, and this is the best. It's better than whatever best you've ever had. Jesus Christ is the best. So, I'd like for you to like this video, subscribe and share to your friends. Let them know what the Bible view on friendships is, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, come on, you haven't liked the video.